In the darkest hour of one Saturday night in Latte Kingdom, a set of twins were born, two beautiful girls born into the family of Papa and Mama Adora King. The night was cold, and the only sound that could be heard was the soft chirping of crickets. A gentle breeze rustled through the trees, adding a serene touch to the atmosphere. Their father was a successful gold merchant that traded far and wide. He named the newborn twins Zara and Lila. As the twins grew, there was a great physical difference between them, despite the fact that they were fed the same meal and ate at the same time. Yet, the twin named Zara looked too thin, skinny, and tall, while Lila, the other twin, looked chubby. As they grew older, Zara became the object of mockery for everyone in the village because of her figure. They called her horrible names like skeleton or jagbe, which means thin fish, and she would often cry back home, where her parents always did their best to pacify her. Mama Adora would hug her tightly, whispering comforting words, while Papa Adora would try to cheer her up with small gifts like her favorite sweets or flowers from the garden. Even her twin sister Lila would also give her words of encouragement. No one wanted to be Zara's friend. Most social groups in the village rejected her, and the few groups that accepted her used every chance they got to humiliate her or laugh at her until she got tired, fed up, and stopped attending their meetings. Lila, her twin sister, on the other hand, had so many friends and was a member of various social groups in the village. The only thing that kept Zara sane in all of this madness was her cooking skills. She was a really wonderful cook, to the extent that whenever she prepared food for her family, everyone ended up licking their plates and praising her for the delicious meal. Her home was really the safe haven for her, where she would often find solace in the cozy kitchen, filled with the scent of herbs and spices. But whenever she stepped out of the house, the wolves in the form of villagers were always there to ridicule her for being skinny, especially whenever she and her twin sister went to the market. People started to compare, whisper, and gossip and start to stare. One sunny afternoon, the twins headed to the market to get some food ingredients. The marketplace was bustling with activity, with traders shouting out their wares and children running around, playing games. The aroma of fresh produce and spices filled the air, adding to the lively atmosphere. Lila, why did you suck Zara's blood? The fish seller said, her voice dripping with mockery, while she pointed at Zara with a sardonic grin. A fish seller said this while giggling hard, and everyone in the market joined in laughing. Watch out for the strong wind tomorrow, Zara, so you don't lose your balance. Another person added. Zara was so sad and dejected, she couldn't even utter a word. You should all be ashamed of yourselves, Lila fired back angrily at them. Most of you have children, and if you don't, it must be because you are too bitter to have one. But I am sure you have siblings, yet you behave like fools. Zara was so happy her twin sister had her back. Lila would always stand up for Zara against these mean bullies until one day, Lila's boyfriend named Jalen came visiting. Jalen is the son of a famous cocoa farmer, and he had been in a love relationship with Lila for the past 2 years. He came to inform her that they wouldn't be getting married anymore because his family was not in support of their union. Why am I not good enough for you? Lila and I not good enough for you? Lila asked Jalen in tears. You know you are perfect, but my parents fear your twin sister's skinny genes might manifest in our children if we get married. Lila couldn't believe her ears. Her world came crashing down, and she began to resent her twin sister. She spent sleepless nights staring at the ceiling, with tears streaming down her face, wondering why fate had dealt her this cruel hand. She was still crying herself to sleep every night when she was also sent out of all her social groups because people didn't like how she stood up for her skinny twin sister. Lila blamed all these woes and misfortunes on her sister Zara and decided she was going to make her life miserable. One day, Zara cooked a delicious meal for the house, like she always did, her heart full of hope that the family would enjoy her cooking. But as she stepped out for a moment, Lila came into the kitchen, her face twisted in anger, and poured sand into the pot of food her sister had just made. Zara looked confused. "Why did you do that?" she screamed. "Shut your mouth, skinny witch," Lila fired back. The following week, Zara fetched a bucket of water and left it in the bathroom to go into her room and get herself changed before having a bath. The bathroom was dimly lit, with a small window allowing a sliver of sunlight to filter in, creating a calm, serene ambience. Lila sneaked into the bathroom and poured something into her sister's bathing water, unknowingly to Zara. She returned and took a bath with the contaminated water. She started to itch all over. She scratched herself so badly and screamed loudly. Her parents had to rub her body with palm oil before the itching reduced. Lila was laughing all through, which made Zara realize her twin sister had done this to her. Unlike before, when she stood up for her sister in public, now whenever they went to the market, Lila would loudly call Zara a skinny skeleton in the presence of everyone to make them see and hear that she was done standing up for her. This made Zara so sad, and she cried day and night. Their parents would scold Lila and warn her to desist from humiliating Zara. "She is your twin sister, for crying out loud. I didn't raise you to be this way," their mother would say. But still Lila felt no remorse and refused to listen. "Zara destroyed my life, the love of my life. Galen left me because of this thin stick," Lila shouted. Their mother, who couldn't believe what she just said, got so angry and slapped Lila hard on the cheek. It was mockery and humiliation every day for Zara, from her twin sister and the entire village. But there came a time when the twins' village, known as Latte Kingdom, and two other neighboring kingdoms, named Moweri and Boer, were preparing for a once-in-a-decade contest called the Queen Maiden Competition. For this competition, each kingdom was supposed to put forward three of their most capable, competitive, and beautiful maidens to represent the kingdom. The villagers in Latte started projecting the names of the three maidens they liked or thought would represent their kingdom in the Queen Maiden competition. Some even jokingly mentioned Zara's name, and they all laughed mockingly. One of them added, "Who will put a skeleton forward to represent you humans?" And they all laughed again. One of the other kingdoms would be hosting this year's competition because Latte hosted the last one. One quiet afternoon, Zara went to fetch water at the village stream. The air was filled with the sound of birds singing. It was there she met a man called Adio, who was sitting on a large rock by the water, sketching the scene before him. Adio is one of the organizers of the Queen Maiden competition from the neighboring kingdom hosting this year's contest. But Zara didn't know this. Immediately he saw Zara. He was so thrilled and amazed by her stature. "What beauty is this?" he said to Zara. "You are blessed with a lovely figure that many people would kill for," Adio added. Zara looked so confused hearing these words. She felt he was just being sarcastic, but Adio was looking really thrilled, and he told her he was in their village to get the names of the three maidens that would be representing them in the upcoming competition. I am sure your name would be on the list because you look fit for the competition, Adio said confidently. But Zara told him that that was not going to happen because everyone hated her in the village and wouldn't even think of recommending her for such a competition. She also said that aside from her parents, he was the first person to ever think of her stature as good. Everyone else called her skeleton and other bad names. Adio was shocked to hear this and persuaded her to dress well and make sure to come watch the competition, even if she wasn't going to partake. Zara hesitated at first, but later agreed to show up on the day of the competition. The other two kingdoms, Late and Moeri, traveled down to the palace of the host kingdom, Bor, where the competition would take place. The twins and their parents were also present, all looking radiant and elegant. After the three girls representing each kingdom in the competition were called out, the organizers announced that there would be an additional contestant sponsored by the host king himself. One of the privileges the host king enjoys in the Queen Maiden competition is the power to add one more maiden as one of the contestants. Everyone was eager to know the lucky maiden that would be joining the other 9 contestants. The organizers then called out the name of Zara as the chosen contestant sponsored by the king to join the other maidens. She was so shocked. Her fellow villagers were also confused, shocked, and jealous of this. Even Lila, her twin sister, was so angry about this. What will a drumstick be useful for in this contest? Lila mumbled to herself, but all of them couldn't do anything to stop it. Zara's parents were also happy for their girl and started clapping hard, cheering her on. Zara, still in shock, hesitated to step out at first, but her parents kept clapping, and this boosted her confidence. She stepped out, looking so tall and elegant. She had dressed so elegantly and with grace as well as she joined the other 9 maidens. The competition began, and the first stage was the cooking contest. The competing maidens were all tasked with cooking traditional dishes. Zara, who already had superb culinary skills, finished preparing a meal quickly. It was like a walk in the park for her. The judges tasted the meals cooked by the 10 maidens and announced the 5 maidens who did so well and would be proceeding to the next stage of the competition. It was no surprise to hear Zara as one of the 5 victors. After all, she is a good cook who made delicious meals all ready for her family before the contest. The second stage was about finding a treasure that was hidden in the forest, and the first maiden to return with the hidden treasure would be crowned the Queen Maiden of the 3 kingdoms. But there was a clause. The 5 maidens had to swim across a river to get to the forest where the treasure was hidden. Many of the maidens couldn't swim fast enough, but Zara could swim a lot faster because she was fit and therefore had light weight. She was the fastest swimmer. She got into the forest and started searching all over for the treasure. She searched, and 15 minutes in, she was still searching. Another maiden named Amira finished swimming and proceeded to the forest. She saw Zara and also started searching for the treasure. A few minutes later, Zara looked in a direction in the bush and saw a blue shiny treasure. "That must be it!" she screamed, forgetting it was a competition. The other maiden, Amira, heard this and raced over to the treasure's direction. it turned into a running competition because now Zara had to catch up. Both of them ran, but unfortunately for Zara, her cloth was hooked by a tree branch and she fell to the ground. Amira got to the treasure before her, but something unexpected happened. Zara, still on the floor, saw a lot of other blue treasures in the bushes. They looked just like the first one she saw, and this made something click in Zara's head. These blue treasures were a bunch of distractions from the real treasure they had come to find. Zara stood up and wanted to tell Amira, the other maiden, but she learned from her previous mistake and decided to keep this discovery to herself. Amira, on the other hand, raced back to the riverbank with the fake treasure and told the three other maidens she had found the treasure. They believed her and felt they already lost the competition, so together they swam back to the kingdom. Zara, still searching the forest, felt water drip on her from above. She looked up and saw a golden box on a tree. It sparkled so much, and this convinced Zara it was the real treasure they were looking for. Because of her tall figure, she climbed the tree easily and carried the golden box. She opened it and saw several other colors of those blue treasures she had seen in the bushes. She closed the box and journeyed back to the palace. Zara got to the palace, and every single eye was on her. She looked so tired, carrying the big box of treasure. Immediately she got to the rest of the contestants, including Amira, who was looking at her with so much envy. The organizers unveiled the drawing of the treasure the maidens were supposed to return with, and to Zara's fellow villagers' surprise, Zara came back with the exact treasure. She was declared the winner, crowned, and named the Queen Maiden of the Three Kingdoms. She was also given lots of treasures such as gold, clothes, and a house of her own. The villagers were shocked, but had to admit it. They all started showing Zara fake affection and apologizing for how they treated her. Her parents were overjoyed, and Lila, her twin sister, felt so ashamed and didn't know what to say to her. When they returned home, remembering how much she humiliated her twin sister, Lila decided she would pack her things and leave the house because she was so ashamed of herself. But Zara stopped her. "Why would you leave your family?" Zara asked. Lila started crying. "I am so sorry for how I treated you, Zara. You are my twin sister, but I treated you like an animal. I prefer to please outsiders than my own flesh and blood. Let me just leave. This shame is too much for me to bear." Lila cried out loud. "Lila, I can never hate you. We came to this world through our mother's womb on the same day. I love you no matter what, Lila, and I forgive you." The twin sisters hugged each other, tears streaming down their faces as they both realized the value of family. From that day on, they made a pact to never let anything come between them again, and they lived happily ever after, supporting and loving each other unconditionally. The moral lessons of this story are numerous, but a moral lesson that stands out is that we should all embrace ourselves. No matter your situation, there is always beauty in being unique or different. When life gives you lemons, turn them into lemonade. Stop listening to the noise in the form of mockery or humiliation from other people, because only you can show them what you've got. Thank you for staying with us until the end of this inspiring tale of resilience, love, and family. Remember, no matter the hardships you face, there's always beauty in being unique, and true strength comes from embracing who you are. If this story touched your heart, let us know where you're listening from in the comments below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more stories that encourage and uplift. Stay strong, stay unique, and we'll see you at the top.